All right, yesterday the 76ers fired head coach Britt Brown, and most people wondering why Elton Brand isn't to follow. Well, let's talk about the whole situation and kind of does Philly need to blow it up or not. But hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. You got people saying, well, this is why you don't tank. Look at the process it's done and this, that, and the third. I don't agree with that, all right? Britt Brown was terrible. He was the coach there for 7 years, 7 years of horrible coaching. I could just take one look at him for one game and tell that he couldn't coach. All right, it's rumors going out there that he was the reason Jimmy Butler didn't return. He said he didn't like working with Jimmy Butler. He couldn't stand Jimmy Butler. I'm paraphrasing. So he helped run Jimmy Butler out of there, right? Now, some bad personnel decisions on Elton Brand's part. And let's begin there before I start getting to Britt Brown. Now, Elton Brand tried to trade Ben Simmons. This is a fact. He tried to trade Ben Simmons, but the 76ers owner, I can't remember which owner it was. Mike Rubin is like a co-owner, minority owner, but they wouldn't let him trade Ben Simmons. He wanted to break it up and trade Ben Simmons and, this, that, and the third. Just to let you know sometimes that it's not always the general manager's fault. What you gotta realize is that the owner has to write off on whatever he do. Elton Brand tried to trade Ben Simmons and build a team around Joel Embiid, but the ownership wouldn't let him do that. So do you think the ownership will let him fire Britt Brown when he wanted to fire Britt Brown? No. Elton Brand doesn't have 100% control of that, and no general manager usually does. So pretty much, it's nothing that Elton Brand could do. Elton Brand probably wanted to move on from Britt Brown as well too, and they wouldn't allow him to move on from him. So before everybody understand, why Elton Brand ain't getting fired? Elton Brand was getting vetoed by the ownership. He would have been blew up Ben Simmons' side of the street and brought other people in. So it's pretty much ownerships that's holding Elton Brand back, and they need to let Elton Brand spread his wings and fly. But as far as Britt Brown, he was just a terrible coach. You could just tell he just looked stupid. You know what I'm saying? And people say, we came from the San Antonio Spurs situation. It's all, you usually get a bad apple off an apple tree sometimes. And Britt Brown just wasn't a good coach. He didn't know how to utilize Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid together. He just didn't know how to make nothing work. You know what I'm saying? And did they make some bad personnel decisions and giving Al Horford that money? Absolutely. Giving Tobias Harris that money? Absolutely. They made a lot of bad personnel decisions as far as that. I wouldn't have gave Tobias Harris no damn max contract. Are you smoking dick? I wouldn't have gave no Al Horford no $27 million. You know what I'm saying? Why would you pay Al Horford that? You got Joel Embiid. It's shown in the NBA that the two big guys ain't working no more. If you don't have a big guy that can dominate the post, or two big guys that can control the paint, it's not gonna work. Now if you had David Robinson and Tim Duncan in this era, they still would dominate because both can move, both can dominate the post. You know what I'm saying? They would just dominate. Those Twin Towers are going to dominate because they would have no answer every time it's 2 points. And then Robinson was one of the most athletic centers. Even in today's game, he could run up and down the floor like a deer. That's going to work. Joel Embiid and Al Horford ain't no damn Twin Towers. All right? Embiid don't want to sit on the block. Al Horford don't control the paint defensively. He just a stretch four. So that's why that wasn't going to work. So personally, I would just trade the excess fat. I would trade Josh Richardson. He a bum when he came here. I would trade Al Horford. I would trade Tobias Harris. And I would build a complete team around Joel Embiid. And that's just what I would do around Joel and around Ben Simmons. You know what I'm saying? I mean, who can you obviously get that can really take them to the next level? I mean, I'm not sure who's out there or whatever, but my ideal two guard would be a guard that can shoot. You got to put a Klay Thompson, a two-way player, on the side of Ben Simmons, which those don't grow on apple trees at all. But you got to get a two-way player that can defend and shoot. You want a Klay Thompson next to a Ben Simmons. You actually can get away with a CJ McCollum next to a Ben Simmons because Ben Simmons can take on all the bigger guards and McCollum can guard the point guards in this league. So CJ McCollum will work next to Ben Simmons. I don't think they're going to let him go. But Trailblazers not going to win shit with CJ McCollum there anyway. They need to realize that. But, then you look at a 3 spot, and you need a 3 spot that can really stretch the floor. Maybe a Joe Harris out there that can come in and shoot the 3, but you want somebody that can 3 and D a little bit. Kind of like you kind of need like a Danilo Gallinari. I don't even know his defense not that good. That would be a good fit for them, but he might break the bank out there. I mean, maybe a Will Barton out there if he becomes available. But it's getting pretty hard, to find those guys in today's league. But I would get a 3-and-D type of small forward, and I get like a McCollum that can play make a little bit and that shifty at the 2. And then as far as playing next to Joel Embiid, obviously in today's league you need the athletic 4. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they can bring Draymond over. I think Draymond would fit a little bit, but with Ben Simmons being there and not being able to shoot, and Draymond not being a real shooter, that may not work. So they need somebody that can really stretch it out, and really can shoot it and be athletic. The Pistons got a guy named Christian Wood that'd be nice next to Joel Embiid. I'm not sure we're going to be willing to let him go. I'm a Piston fan. Check my other channel, my Motor City Sports Talk. I mean, so, that's kind of how I would build it. I would break those contracts up. And, maybe Aaron Gordon next to, Joel Embiid might work. You know what I'm saying? He kind of improving his range a little bit. You put Aaron Gordon, Joel Embiid. You get your, 3-and-D guy at the 3 spot. And then you bring in like a McCollum type of 2 guard. If you get you a Clay 3-and-D guy, maybe that'll work, for them. But then, one other problem they had in Philadelphia was the lack of bench depth. So when you break those contracts down, you should be able to get some bench depth behind those guys. Maybe you could bring a Joe Harris off the bench. Maybe you can go find some guys that, that may not be working in other places, in the NBA and get some bench depth. But, they just spent too much money on guys that didn't produce for what they was getting paid to be. Tobias Harris, Al Horford, Josh Richardson. You break those contracts down into, bench depth and some really good starters, then I think they'd be all right. But Britt Brown just couldn't coach. That's just what it boiled down to. Britt Brown was a terrible coach. I've been said this before, and I say it again. You can just tell he didn't know how to make Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons work. And at the end of the day, they didn't play enough 2-man game, high and low. He could have put Ben Simmons. On at the post. He could have had Joel Embiid, posting up in the mid post. These dudes bark at everything. It just don't make no sense. But you could put them dudes on the post them up. You have Ben Simmons playing off the ball, making backdoor cuts. He just wasn't a good coach. And 7 years too long. Now, had he had the other skin color, would he have been there that long? I mean, obviously we can make those accusations, but they must have really liked Britt Brown as a guy. But he ran Jimmy Butler out the door. He just couldn't make it work. You can see that for the last 2 or 3 years that he wasn't the coach. So what coach could make it work? As far as they talk about Tyronn Lue, it's a couple of the guys. Maybe they're looking at Jason Kidd or a few other guys like that. Monty Williams would have been a good coach for them if he would have hung around one more year. He's doing pretty good in Phoenix right now. Phoenix like they could be on the rise. But Tyronn Lue, I'm not mad at him getting another opportunity. But you really just don't know how many coaches out there, man. Mark Jackson ain't gonna always come up because he did a great job with helping, plant the seeds and nurture the young guys out there in the Golden State Warriors in Oakland. So I mean, whoever get the job, it'd be an upgrade from Britt Brown. You know what I'm saying? As long as they don't bring Mike D'Antoni in there, or they don't bring PJ Carlissimo or some fucking body like that. Or Stan Van Gundy, sorry ass. So they need a coach that can come in and do it. But the talent there, I wouldn't blow it up. Not just right now. But you want to see somebody else get a shot, man. Some new blood get a shot, man. There, Ime Udoka is probably a name out there that deserve to get a shot. So maybe he could do it, or maybe they want somebody more proven that can actually make it work. I think Phil Jackson done with coaching. I think he done, but he a guy that probably could make it work with the triangle. But, to be honest, I wouldn't blow it up, the core of Joel Embiid, Bub, and Ben Simmons right now up. But they don't really have a work ethic. They're young and dumb. And if you did blow it up, I would understand because Joel Embiid doesn't have the discipline or the work ethic to come in shape. And he only got another 2 or 3 good years left. And he ain't even had a really good physical year yet. Whatever the years he had before now, okay years, injured here and there, he got 2 or 3 more years of those left. So it might be wise for them to move on from Joel Embiid. And Ben Simmons want to go chase pussy and party and not work on his jump shot. So if they did blow it up, I definitely would understand. But they can get some shit for them, and they can bounce back real quick, you know. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you got business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation to the channel? Cash App, CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Best way to donate is share the video. You know, possibly if they do look to blow it up, I mean, maybe if Paul George don't get it together, they can do a Joel Embiid and Paul George swap or something like that. The Clippers don't have no more picks, so you know it would have to be Paul George and maybe Montrezl Harrell going over to Philadelphia. That's something maybe look at. But hey, let me know what you guys think. One time for the one time. Don't forget to check out our NBA Talk playlist. We gone.